Greetings and salutations, everyone! My name is Fire Mage, and welcome back to Rimworld Ascension Take 2, Episode 30. If you enjoy this episode, please remember to like and subscribe, and as always, mod list is down in the description. And with that, let's get on to the episode. Alright, well, picking up where we left off last time, what are my plans for today? Well, as we started at the very end of last episode, I want to get this first updated house design built, see how well that works, and if any further changes are needed. But other than that, in terms of construction projects, we do still need to repair the plumbing infrastructure from about 2 episodes back, and of course, the wall is nowhere near complete. So that is also on the docket for today. And since it is almost winter, we will not be planting any more crops because, well, they're all just going to die. But we will begin to till the soil, at least for things like the heel root and the corn, so that in the spring they grow ever so slightly faster. Another thing I want to do, actually, real quick, is the geese. More specifically, the geese haven't really been doing a whole lot for us, so I'm going to go ahead and slaughter them, and just make this into a full bison field. As unfortunate as it is, the geese are not as useful as I was hoping. And that is certainly something. A group of boom rats are joining the colony. How many is that? Oh, that's 10 of them. That is a lot of explosive rodents. Well, I suppose we now have a bunch of explosive rats. Well, I suppose we can use them in the next raid, either against us or one we launch. But until then, they are just going to exist, I suppose. And there we go. The primary plumbing infrastructure has been repaired, and just in time, the water tower was almost empty. I mean, it's not technically fully repaired, as this bit here, isn't functional, but seeing as the prison is kind of burnt out, and we're going to need to rebuild that, not too concerned. And sterile attire is researched, and we will most certainly be queuing that up in just a moment. But after looking through all the options, I think the next one we're going to go for is modern bathroom fixtures, because I think that is probably not a bad thing to get. Get some actual proper toilets and showers and stuff. I have a feeling our people would appreciate that. And there it is. Our chef's hat has been completed, and that means that Sappy will be putting that on. Now, granted, it will make her slightly upset because she won't be wearing the proper apparel. A little -4, but I think that -4 is going to be a worthwhile trade-off for the additional cooking speed and lower food poisoning chance. Mainly food poisoning chance. I really don't like food poisoning. Also, it would appear that the children are getting quite depressed for some reason. Not entirely sure why. Well, I suppose I know why Huff is upset. He still doesn't believe in our ideology. By quite a lot. We should probably do something about that. We do have a convert ready. Let's go ahead and go do that. $97 to $83. Not too bad. And it looks like Crine built a masterwork plain leather apron. Very fancy. Now, if I recall correctly, that was also to go to Sappy in order to increase her work speed even more. There we go. Honestly, we could probably make one of those for just about everyone. But let's focus on getting one of everything. Also, just preemptively, before we get the hospital gown finished, let's go ahead and build a wooden armor rack in here so that we can keep it, well, in the hospital. That way, whoever is capable of doctoring can put it on and do it even more efficiently. And there we go. The top hat is finished, which is actually quite important because we need to send out a trade caravan. So we will be sending Sappy, since we have a good supply of food, and Tusla isn't all that far away. So that means Sappy will be swapping out her chef's hat for the top hat, give us that little bit of extra social skill boost. And then, of course, we will be sending out a trade caravan. Well, it would appear that our allies in the Pact of Verbonlia have actually established a new settlement. Very interesting. Unfortunately, it is slightly further than Tusla, so not really gonna interact with that one too terribly often. Let's go ahead and load up what we need in order to go on our trading mission. We are actually going to bring multiple bison this time. Make sure we can haul back a good amount of goodies. More importantly, though, making sure we can bring all the stuff I need to sell. And we have a lot. Make sure we take all of our money. We'll be selling off a good majority of our lower quality melee weapons, since we really don't need them anymore. A good amount of all of this leather and wool that we have just lying about, taking up unnecessary space. There we go. And you know what? We'll take the jade with us too. Don't really need it. We can go ahead and offload that there. And then, in terms of travel supplies, let's make sure we take some simple bakes. No, those are fine grills. I said simple bakes. 1 TP. And we'll take a bunch of bedrolls too. Figure we can probably sell those off, make a decent profit off of that. Take the psychoid leaves, insect jelly preserves, fertilized goose eggs. That should cover just about everything. And send the caravan off. And Carrie has finished off the first upgraded house. Well, houses. It is technically 2 of them. And that means we can go ahead and move Sam and Crine into the new house. And overall, I think that's pretty good. Of course, the plumbing system isn't actually hooked up yet. Another thing we're going to have to do right quick. Shouldn't be too terribly difficult, though. Just a little something like this should do the trick. And once that is built, they will be complete. And they will be plumbed. And then, of course, we will blueprint it so that I can just build that a little quicker. But that means that we now need to work on designing the next one. And I'm thinking the next one will be a simple, single-bedroom house. And we'll put it right here. No, not right there. That looks bad. Move it forward exactly 1 tile. Now this will make this bed a bit hard to use. So we'll go ahead and just make sure nobody uses it. And of course, now we actually have to design this new bedroom. And we will start by removing everything. And starting from scratch. Now, the bathroom for this one actually should be pretty easy, relatively speaking. because we can just do this. And then we just remove that tile, and there we go. A very, very small bathroom. Small, but functional. And that leaves us with all this space to work with. So I think we'll do a bed here, end table here, and finally a dresser here. And then, of course, some wooden floor. And that will be the next house. I think that one might end up having slightly more interior space than these two up here. But we'll have to wait and see. Wait for those to get constructed. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, we are almost done with modern bathroom fixtures, which will be giving us showers. So we should probably account for that in our designs. I can't believe I didn't think of that sooner. I feel kind of silly. Alright, so that means we're going to actually have to make this bathroom a little bit larger in order to actually fit a shower in here. Yeah, we're just going to start over, as annoying as that is. But that is the cost you have to pay sometimes. Now, I think this time we're actually going to move the door from right there to down here, and then make up here into a small little bathroom like so, which will leave space to put in a shower. And the bed won't actually stick out, so it'll look slightly better. And we can go ahead and put the dresser right there. And overall, I think that actually is a significant improvement on the design. That will look quite a bit better. Oh, and of course, we're now going to need to modify these. Well, that should be simple enough. Just move these like so, and that should be all that needs to be changed about these two. And speaking of the upgraded bathroom fixtures, that has been researched. Let's go ahead and research the irrigation. Not entirely sure how this works, but it'll be fun to figure it out. Let's go ahead and take a look at those showers. Alright, so what do we got? Oh, well, we can make them out of wood. Very nice. And, yeah, it seems like simple showers have to be made of steel. So that means we will be making these ones. Well, let's go ahead and put one down in this house over here first. Then, of course, we will have to plumb it up, but that shouldn't be too hard. And Sappy has finally formed the caravan and is going out. Oh, and it looks like they're actually sending a trade caravan at the same time to come visit us. Isn't that neat? We might actually be able to intercept and trade with them on the road, perhaps. Oh, and it looks like the caravan is going to automatically go ahead and trade with us. Very interesting. Well, let's go ahead and see what all they have to offer. They got a little bit of money. They are a bulk goods trader, which is a pleasant surprise. Got quite a few interesting books that might be worth purchasing. More importantly, though, they are willing to buy some of our stuff. They don't really have too much that is interesting to me. The bison already provide us milk and wool, so we don't actually need any cows. And overall, unless we want to get some steel, which we can just get from the settlement itself, I think the biggest thing they have to offer us is going to be these books. More specifically, the shooting book. I think that's probably the most valuable thing they have. Alright, and we will sell them all of our leathers. coming out with a nice tidy profit of 746. And we're still going to go trade with Tusla, though, since we have a bunch of money, and I would like to see what they have to purchase. Oh, and it looks like Krine has finished the Doctor, Scrubs, and Carrie at some point built the armor rack. Very good indeed. Let's go ahead and make sure we get this set up to hold the Doctor's mask and, of course, the surgical mask that will be getting very soon. Ooh, and it is an excellent quality Dr. Scrub. Well, that is certainly a pleasant surprise. And there we go. A full set of Doctor clothing, which will be very beneficial considering our hospital quality is not good, as you can see here. I might end up making another one of these at some point, but for now, we only ever really have like one main doctor in here, so we shouldn't need more than one, at least for a while. Well, in slightly different news, it is looking like Carrie has deconstructed the bits we needed deconstructed in the houses up here to go ahead and slap in some showers. And since I'm feeling kind of lazy about it, we are going to keep it relatively simple with the changes. Oh, and it looks like they changed from a bulk goods trader to an exotic goods trader. Well, that is certainly interesting. Anyway, and Sappy has made it to Tusla. Well, I am getting interrupted all the times today. Let's go ahead and offload everything we got that we don't need, since they are willing to buy more than the bulk goods trader was. Alright, and that is everything we wanted to sell, netting us a profit of 1,060 silver. Let's see, do they have anything interesting for us to purchase? Well, they do certainly have quite the variety of things. And since we are in the industrial age, technically we could buy industrial ammo. Wouldn't hurt to do that, probably. In fact, you know what? I think what we're going to do is first we're going to buy this telescope so that we can have another form of recreation. And yeah, then I think we're going to spend as much money as we can buying industrial ammo. Just normal industrial ammo for now. And then we will load up on steel. And we still are well below our maximum carry capacity. Well, that's good enough for me. I think that is a good, successful trade. Go ahead and send Sappy back. Now, as I was saying, though, I am going to put a shower here. And that should cover just about everything, making these into the proper houses that they need to be. Still considered average sized. Wonderful. Even the smallest one up here that Krine is sleeping in is still larger than the old houses, which have a size of 16. And irrigation is researched while I'm talking. Lovely. Alright, well, we could go for swimming pools or perhaps even fire suppressors, but I think I've put it off long enough. It is time to get to work on quite possibly the most important thing that we could ever research: electricity. Which will unlock, well, pretty much everything. Once we get electricity going, everything's gonna change. But it'll take a while to get the infrastructure set up for that. Also, it probably wouldn't hurt to see what we need to build a hot water tank. Or, correction, a hot water heater, wherever that is. Ah, there it is. A log broiler. Let's go ahead and build one of these. We'll go ahead and slap it on in here in the bathhouse. And then, by extension, we will need to make a hot water tank. And we'll go ahead and put it here. Why not? And with that, we'll be able to have nice hot showers, which will most certainly get the mood up even higher. Let's also go ahead and send Krine down here to see what these exotic goods traders have, and if they are willing to buy any of our stuff. Oh, and they're willing to buy all of our animals. Well, that is certainly pleasant. A nice, pleasant surprise indeed. Wow, they actually have quite a bit of good stuff. Just looking over this. Alright, well, we'll sell them our 10 plasteel, since we don't really need that. And we can get rid of all of these rats. There we go. That'll help keep the food consumption down. Other than that, I suppose we can finally get rid of that one L-Tex. Never mind. I don't want to anger the Empire right now. And, yeah, I think that's about it. I don't think we really need to sell anything. They do have more digestible resurrector nanites. Well, if they're still here, when Sappy gets back, we can go ahead and buy those. Wouldn't hurt to have an extra set of those. Might actually make me use the ones we have in the first place that are sitting up here. And Sappy has successfully made her way back to the colony. Kind of. Now she has to carry all those bison back as well. But, oh, and a Feralisk is hunting one of my geese. Lovely. Well, at least it's just a goose. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and send Sappy to begin trading. Sam can go ahead and go grab the bison. Let's see if we can't buy those Resurrector nanites. I would love to get my hands on those. Then we'll have 2 revives. Well, preemptive revives. We still actually have to use them. We haven't yet, but I'll feel a little more confident in using them if I have 2 of them. Oh, and Sappy instead had a crisis of belief. Lovely. Oh, and they are trying to leave. Well, Krine, seeing as you have the 2nd highest social, I'm gonna need you to run interception on that. Alright. Well, the money hasn't all been delivered yet, but I think we might still be able to grab those Resurrector nanites. It's very expensive, but we do happen to have a rather large amount of animals. So long as we don't sell off any that are bonded, we should be just fine. Selling off just enough animals to get our hands on 1 more set of Resurrector nanites. Go ahead and pick those up, and we'll go put them down right next to the other ones. And there we go. 2 sets of digestible Resurrector nanites. And that is where I'm gonna leave this episode off. We got, technically, almost 3 houses done. This one just needs those last 2 walls, and it'll be complete. Granted, that is still leaving us with quite a few left to do, but should be able to get that done next episode. Speaking of next episode, we are going to need to deal with those Feralisks before they become a real problem. Maybe they'll leave because it's too cold, but quite frankly, I'm not willing to risk that. Had a good trading mission, got a bunch of ammo, more Resurrector nanites, which is super awesome, so might actually get around to using those for once. Other than that, though, pretty chill episode. With all that said and done, though, I will see you all in the next episode.